welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is a turntable. Trevor Scott.
Damn you.
I shouldn't start with an in-joke that nobody else heard.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I actually was going to say, did you forget your name there for a second? Because it sounded like you did.
Listen, it's been a long week. We're all isolated. Things start to happen when you're alone by yourself, and one of those things is you forget your name. But I'm here. I'm Ben. I remember now. Let's play some click picture. Trevor, do you want to tell the listening audience what that game is?
We have a random image getter that gets images from a board panda list that Ben found a few weeks ago. On the count of 3, 2, 1, click. Ben's going to hit enter and put his picture into the Discord that we've both got access to. We're going to see that picture, we're going to explain it to the audience, and then we're going to riff on a game design.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the episode, it's my turn to find a picture.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, enter.
More food.
More food. It's always the food. We have a fairly large man shoving something into the mouth of a surprised woman wearing a hoodie. That's really the whole thing. It looks like maybe a taco or a bit of a burger or something. I see some lettuce. His hand's covering most of it. It's not a very good photo. I don't know what you would ever use this photo for. He's very pleased with himself. Is this...
He's like, open wide.
Is this a world where all of those, like, carnival clowns that you shove the balls in the mouth of are sentient?
Yes. Oh, God.
It's like some weird horror world where...
Okay, so you actually work as, like, the attendant for this creepy, clown
creepy
place.
Sideshow thing, yeah, like what do you like carnival game? Yeah.
And
it's like, don't get too close, they bite.
Yeah, and it's all about, it's sort of a rundown carnival. It's the conversations that you're having with the clown heads and
right, you're talking to them like while you wait for customers to come along.
Yeah. I reckon this could actually be, kind of a fun, introspective
it's sort of
look.
a weird surrealist kind of introspective kind of game where it's all very dialogue based.
I kind of like the idea that, you got to sort of be on the lookout for customers while you're talking, so you can quickly go, no, stop talking, customers. And like they go back to putting their mouth open and, heads back and forward.
Yeah, and you get to like choose from your carny patter of what you say. Step right up, come and shove a hamburger in the clown's mouth. See if you can win a prize. All the prizes are feces.
This one over here doesn't really have a gag reflex.
Careful if you choose old Joey on the left there, because he's got an appetite for blood.
He'll take your finger off. It's like, oh, they're actual severed heads, reanimated by the.
That's it. I think they're very much
carnival witch doctor.
I think this is this kind of creepy carnival. Are there other sorts of things we could add to this carnival? And maybe if this is the game, it's fine, but maybe you just see them in the background, or like you talk to some of the other carnies. Like the rides, is the roller coaster like a giant intestine or something? I don't know.
Well, what I'm thinking is that your character is actually a demon. And the whole carnival's actually run by demons.
Oh, this is like Hell's Carnival or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like Hell's Carnival. And it
just pops up somewhere on Earth.
And it's sort of like you're looking for fresh meat to add to the carnival sort of thing.
That's a cool aesthetic. I like that idea of it being like Hell's Carnival pops up in some city. All the surrounding people are compelled to come, and they have to like win back their soul. They have to win enough points to leave with their soul, otherwise Satan gets to keep it. And he's like the ringmaster of this circus.
And effectively, if you look behind you, all the stuffed toys, they're actually souls. Like, so you see someone walking out with... Well, basically, if you don't win one of the big prizes, you walk away with only a piece of your soul.
Yeah.
Effectively, on the way out, your winnings are judged against the size of your soul.
Right.
Or something like that.
Something like that. Yes, exactly. Like you have to win enough do you get to leave with part of your soul, and that's like what creates people basically, who are evil and stuff? They lose at Hell's Carnival.
I think you can have like everyone has sort of like a balance of good versus evil, and effectively the more soul that you have, the gooder that you are.
The gooder. Yeah, I like that. And so you're just a carny. You're just working there. You don't really care if people win their souls, except that, you have an incentive to keep the game rigged or whatever. And creepy.
I think, it could actually be kind of like a story thing that actually goes along, that there are some weird characters that come by to play the game, and there's a guy who's always coming back just trying to win the big prize.
So what's the big?
So he's basically spending.
Do you get extra soul?
Well, I think this guy has been around the carnival so long, has never actually won anything. That
right. So he's just trying to get out with his soul. He doesn't want to leave without it. Yeah, and has been sticking around. Yeah, that's cool. I definitely like the idea of sort of recurring characters or different characters coming through. And in between,
I kind of see this guy almost like a junkie that sort of comes up trying to get his fix, sort of thing. Like he's lost so much of his soul.
Yeah, he's scraped up enough like soul flakes to play again. But then just always loses. And maybe it's one of those sort of Papers, Please-ish things where you can choose to let him win at some point. Like it builds up to you can choose to let him go or not.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can just imagine some of the other carnival games that you can maybe see is like one of those duck shooting things, but they're actual fingers or hands or something like that have been put up there that are like still connected to maybe one of. Well, I'm thinking that the clowns were previous members of the public, and like they got sort of cut apart and added into the sideshow. So if
you just don't win it, if you don't win it all, you just get like merged into this carnival.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so all the rides are just built from bones and flesh and sinew.
Yeah, and the problem is that these people can still feel everything that's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay.
What a way to start off the episode.
Shooting through people's hands, yeah. Yeah, we started off dark and insane, but hey, that's the way we do it. All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
It can only go up from here. Are we doing phrase today?
No, let's just do regular, because I already have it open.
Okay.
My word
So
is...
do you want to explain to the to the listening public that...
Hey, listeners out there, we're in your ears. We're going to play a game called Click Pitch. This is somewhat similar to the last one, except instead of a picture, we just have words. Imagine that. If you can. Trevor can't.
I can't visualize it.
You can't visualize it.
I can still imagine it.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, this podcast wouldn't go anywhere. All right, it's already rambling. So, Click Pitch is a game where we each have a random word generator in front of us, and on the count of 3 to 1 click, we're going to get new words and jam together and make a game design from that, just like you heard us do with that picture, but with words. Let's do it. 3 to 1 click. Crunch.
Burst.
Crunch burst. That's a cereal or something, or a lolly, like a candy bar.
Yeah,
it's definitely food related.
I'm certainly seeing that it's something to do with. It is definitely something to do with cereal. I do like that image of the kid coming home trying to get to the prize at the bottom of the cereal packet and all this sort of stuff.
Oh, something to do with the prize. Okay. Is this a the Last Starfighter situation where the cereal companies is run like the cereal company is actually some sort of alien race or like cyborg, roller derby team,
cyborg roller derby team,
and they're recruiting, and the way they're doing that is by like putting things into the Crunch Burst box and using that as some sort of test that you have to pass.
A burst of crunchy goodness.
Yeah, that's their slogan.
It's bursting with crunchiness.
Bursting with fruity crunchness. Crunchosity.
Here in our factory, we get our crunchologists to make sure that they've injected enough bursting crunchness into it.
Here in our Labrabursty. No, that doesn't work. Okay, so what is this test? What are they recruiting for? Who are they? And who do you play? Is this a kind of RPG situation? Just the reason I went that direction is like often you'll just like play a kid.
Yep.
And so you can have the whole wake up, enter name here, by your mum. Come down and have your favourite cereal, Crunch Burst.
It's bursting with crunchy goodness.
TM.
and then when you open it up and you have this great idea to open it from the bottom instead of the top, so that because
see, that's how you win a fucking Last Starfighter contest. Those sorts of ideas.
And basically they go, oh, you're the first person in history to ever do that, and they
so are they watching? Does it turn out that there's like cameras embedded in every box? So
I think there's actually like the toy is like a mini robot that is determining like how much bursty crunchy goodness there is still in the box when the toy is discovered.
Right, and if not one flake or burst has been removed, then you're a candidate.
Pretty much. So,
all right, I like this idea because I'm kind of picturing. All right, I'm picturing a party-based RPG, but modern, like fairly modern looking, nice shiny graphics, 3D, maybe stylized. Not sure. Somewhat stylized, I guess.
Yep. Super vibrant or like somewhat restrained.
I think somewhat restrained, particularly in this early bit. It's relatively realistic. You are a kid in the suburbs.
Okay, yep.
But
Uncanny Valley style.
Yeah,
like
probably.
Graphics.
Yeah.
Full
go as close
FMV.
as you can get. Not FMV. Fuck off with your FMV. We don't need it anymore. We've got fucking ray tracing. And basically you've got your little intro scene and the robot joins your party and like tells you, okay, like you're a candidate. It's basically setting you off on your hero's journey, right? Like, I will lead you to the testing center, what did you call it? The fucking
the crunchologists.
The crunchologists in the burst factory.
Yep. And
it's almost there's almost like a Willy Wonka vibe to it on the way. Yep. And you meet the like 5 other candidates who were smart enough to open the box from the bottom. and like,
you talked to Veruca Salt and realized, oh shit, am I Charlie or am I Mike TV?
Yeah, that's it, exactly. You have to figure out the tropes. No, I don't know what the test is yet, but I think you end up like 2 of you get through, and so you end up adding another person to your party, but that can, maybe there's some choices to be made there. So you can go through the rest of the game with, one of a few different people, whoever you sort of appeals to you most.
Yep.
And then from that point, once you pass, it's like, okay, now we've got a mission for you, right? And it's some grand thing to save their species. So you fill in the gaps.
I still don't like the idea about, you know how in Mass Effect you played, Commander Shepard, and straight away you're the leader of the team.
Yeah.
So the fact that every single game like that out there, you're always the leader.
You're always the
hero.
Team. You're always the leader. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea that you're number two, basically.
Yeah,
so
someone
you're
else
following along.
Mm-hmm.
The AI is in control, basically trying to push you along.
Yeah, or at least just from a narrative
time.
point. Yeah, and particularly from a narrative point, it's like, okay, this other person who, through some combination of choices during the test period, you basically chose, or at least leaned towards, but it's like, okay, they got the highest score, and your character got the next highest, and so you two are going on the mission.
Because straight away that adds up, gives you some internal conflict in the team.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
The fact that you're no longer the leader, you have to actually follow along with this person, and later on you can bring like your rival from boot camp. They actually do make it through, and they go and work for the enemy. Like maybe they maybe there's someone who is super smart but real shitty. Yeah,
in
they join
that group.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, fucking yeah. Maybe we just should have made this a Willy Wonka thing. Maybe it's actually licensed. It would make sense.
I'm just shoehorning it in.
He could make cereal though. Sweet cereal. Crunchburst sounds like sweet cereal. No, it's just
Crunchburst.
Wonka's Crunchburst, exactly. I'm really tempted to just pull it into that world, and it's kind of either it's a alternate reality where Wonka's still running it, or it's like, I mean, we've already done a game where Charlie was running it. So literally, that, or it's his
how
kids.
You're getting between missions is the Great Glass Elevator. At least that's what they call it. But in reality, the Great Glass Elevator is just this big hulking, metal dreadnought. It's called a glass elevator.
So hang on. All right, hang on. Is this... All right, I think this is Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka's world. We've previously established, obviously, Willy Wonka gave the factory to Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie was, I think, trying to groom a child. Like he was trying to... He did this... Didn't we have a game where he did a similar thing?
I think so, but it kind of turned bad, if I remember rightly.
Maybe. Anyway, I think what's happened, though, is whoever owned the factory last has realised...
Cereal is the way to go.
No, they've realised who should be running this factory? The fucking Oompa Loompas. They've been basically enslaved here for all this time. They release... this person releases them from their slavery. The Oompa Loompas are now in charge. They pivoted to cereal very successfully. Read the market correctly, but
knew that candy was always a dying market, whereas cereal is always...
Well, cereal has you can pretend it's healthy.
Yeah.
Right? So parents will want to buy it. It's all savvy Oompa marketing.
It's the fact that they called it Fruit Crunch Burst and not, Sugar Crunch Burst, which is what it really is.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody even notices that that's not fruit. That's fucking marshmallow. In the shape of apples and strawberries.
And snozzberries.
And snozzberries, yes. Fuck. Good call. And so I think something is threatening the Oompa Loompas. And this was they're like, oh shit, actually we do need some representatives of the human world to deal with, smart kids to do something. And so, yeah, you do go to the Loompa factory. Have they renamed it, do you think? Or do they honour Wonka's name?
Oh, I definitely don't think they honour their captor, if you know what I mean.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, look, I think just like a lot of colonised civilizations or peoples, they have a very fraught history with their colonizers, but yeah, there's certainly mixed feelings there. So maybe they've rebranded. It's back. It's not even Loompa Factory. Like Oompa Loompas was just a shitty name that Wonka gave them.
Yeah,
They finally back to their native tongue.
You know, they've reclaimed the name. Only they can say it.
Only an Oompa Loompa can call an Oompa Loompa Oompa Loompa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should stop saying it then.
Yes, we should. I don't know what to call
It's going to make
now.
it hard now because we don't actually have an Indigenous name for them. No, I kind of love this though. And yeah, I like this. Keep it as this RPG, and basically they send you out to to fight off the fucking. Do you go sort of back to their homeland or something? Are you trying to find something for them? Maybe they need some sort of power source or like
a special ingredient
food.
that they think.
Like their last snozberry seedlings died or whatever, right? Like
yeah.
And they need new ones because it's a vital part of their diet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like it. That's a good tie-in. All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
Irony.
Amber. Okay. Can we... So, all right, here's where my brain's at. Amber made me think of Jurassic Park because of the fact that they got the DNA from mosquitoes trapped in amber, right?
Yep.
Irony made me think of Alanis Morissette.
Yeah,
Can
same
we
here.
merge the two in some way? Is this a future where they have found Alanis Morissette trapped in amber and they clone her?
And when she comes out, she keeps on saying all these things that are literally
not
ironic.
They're just unfortunate. It's like, oh, wow. I died and you guys brought me back. How ironic.
It's like,
no, that's just a thing that happens.
We thought that after 2 million years of you trapped in amber, that you'd actually know what that's about.
But the fact that none of these things are ironic is ironic in itself. That was the plan all along.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a game there.
No, let's just click again. It was a cool idea, though.
Yeah.
Badge.
Flowing
badge.
Yeah.
Oh, are you a boy or a Girl Scout?
See, where my head went to was a sort of D&D-esque world.
Okay.
Where you are playing a marshal / sheriff-like character that also happens to be a gelatinous cube.
And you need a new badge every day because you just keep fucking...
Well, I was sort of thinking...
disintegrating it into your
gelatinous
body.
cubes are usually seen as like evil sort of characters, but what if this one wasn't? And was actually, trying to turn a new leaf. We
could dig into the background of gelatinous cubes and like their day-to-day life.
I kind of like the idea that that this gelatinous cube was found in a dungeon by like a hero and sort of protected the hero a little bit, and it was
How sentient is a gelatinous cube?
This one's rather sentient. To the point that there's like a whole inner monologue going on the entire game. And I'm thinking that Neil Patrick Harris plays the gelatinous cube's monologue.
That could work. Okay.
Either that or Nathan Fillion, because both of them have
Nathan
like
Fillion plays the hero.
Okay, yep.
So it's a Dr. Horrible reunion. We'll get Felicia Day in as well. She can play like another hero, or maybe it's one of these like choose your character, sort of deals. They move very slowly, right? So
yeah,
what? I'm just trying to think how you play as the gelatinous cube. Is this a dialogue-based game? Are you saying it's the inner monologue as this gelatinous cube hangs
as the
out
gelatinous
in a 10 by 10
cube, sort of
foot
explaining
room?
What's going on in the game?
What
I'm
are the
thinking
gameplay decisions you need to make?
Do you hide above the door and drop down on the criminal as they go to break into the bank? Do you absorb their weapons and dissolve them?
So you're not just in a dungeon hanging out waiting for someone.
You're actually. I'm thinking it's in sort of like a town.
In the town.
You're the sheriff / marshal. Trying to protect all the citizens, but you move very slowly. The reason why the gelatinous cube came to my mind is because of something that your son drew up the other day, or talked about the other day.
Yeah. He did. He did invent a nappy changing machine, and where the nappy or diapers for our American or Canadian friends are disposed of into a gelatinous cube, which just dissolves them. And this is because we recently watched Onward, which contains a gelatinous cube. That's where you remember it from.
Such a good film.
Very, very good. I feel like there is something here. I feel like it's got to be a relatively short joke game. And yes, you're basically moving very slowly side to side, trying to block off sections and have the heroes run into the bad guys run into you.
Oh, I kind of like the idea that you can separate yourself off and have part of you as a trap. Behind a door sort of thing, and they just run in and they run right into you, and their legs literally get dissolved, and it's really,
I like the idea
disgusting.
of this being a kind of voxel-ish world where you can just dissolve through any subsurface in the world. If you you can just start walking through a wall and it will just suck into you and dissolve inside you. But you can't bring in too much stuff in a short amount of time. You have to wait for it to dissolve,
because otherwise, your acid will be too full of debris by the time you actually get to these guys. I'm just trying to think whether you go through a couple of different stories in the start where you're learning to be a sheriff sort of thing, you're learning to be good and not just
learning
suck up.
to love. Learning about friendship. I'm
thinking about, you're being taught by Nathan Fillion not to just eat all the local school children.
Right. How many do you need to eat before you have that conversation?
Oh, about 100 before the conversation happens.
It's a big town. Is there almost a Katamari Damacy vibe of kind of just going around and absorbing things into your body, into your body mass? Cool. And not necessarily with the getting bigger.
No, but definitely, you start off as a cube, but you realise that if you turn into a ball shape, you can actually move a lot faster.
Right.
But the problem is you leave a little bit of yourself behind.
Oh, I see. The faster you go.
Yeah.
Or something. Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
So you can rush through town.
Yeah, and you'll only hit 3 school children on the way. But you get there a lot faster.
I kind of like the idea that you take a shortcut through the local school. Nathan Fillion comes on screen and he goes, "Oh, you only killed 3 school children this time.
That's a big record." All right, I am struggling to figure out the actual gameplay bit there. I do like the idea, but let's click again.
Okay. Correcting.
Application. It's another paperwork game.
Yep.
Is this a game where you have to strategically put white out correction pen?
Yes.
On people's applications to alter the meaning of them?
Here's a little wrinkle for you, and you can say yay or nay. Okay. It's a text adventure.
How would that even work? You just look at application and it shows you the whole thing, and then you have to type in white out first letter G in second paragraph.
It's not that crude. It's row column. Row column length. No, I just wanted to say something funny. You can.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, I don't think we should actually make a game out of whiting things out. So maybe let's think of it as a narrative jumping off point.
Mm-hmm. You play sentient whiteout.
No. No, I was thinking that someone has modified an application in some way to make something happen in your life, or trying to think of the things you apply for.
A license.
Did you apply for a
passport,
driver's license, but for some reason, due to a clerical error, you got a truck license instead of a car license, and now you're having to drive a semi-trailer with no experience, and it's sort of almost a crazy taxi-esque thing where you're driving a giant semi. Just commuting down the highway. I have no idea what I'm doing. Is this the brake? Honk, honk.
It's one of these games where you go in expecting to get a driver's license. You come out with a commercial vehicle license, but still, all you're wanting to do is just drive down to the shop. So you got to take this 18-wheeler truck and try to park it in the supermarket car park.
Maybe you get a pilot's license. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the different things you can apply for.
Motorbike license, fishing license, gun license, pen license. You didn't realise that there was white out on it. It was actually a penis license.
And here's your penis. There you go. Enjoy that. You are licensed to use it. If anyone doubts you, just
don't send a
out
photo
this
of
piece
it.
of paper. Yeah, you'll see the fine print. You must not send dick pics to anybody unprompted, unsolicited. If you do want to do a little photo shoot, prop up the dick, prop up the penis put a little hat on it, that's fine. Just keep the photos to yourself unless asked.
But if you do decide to show someone, then we need to see receipts. We need to see the consent.
Yes, you must have written consent, and also you must show them your receipt for this penis, so they know that you are the licensed owner.
Yep.
Of said penis.
And they need to fill out a form 8813.
As long as they've filled out the penis form, then and they've had you fill out the 8008135 form for reciprocal nudity received, then you're good to go. And you will be well within the law and your rights of sexting.
What I kind of like is you're in the PMV. I don't know.
You're in the P&V.
And I just like the idea that the guy in front of you gets a license, and immediately, just as he's leaving the office, they immediately just revoke his license because he's already sent a picture.
I do just love the idea that they're literally just handing you this semi-flaccid penis. It's not a license for your own dick. It's detached. It's just a penis. That's what I've been picturing this whole time. In this case,
it's why is it flaccid? Well, because you didn't fill out the form for the erect one. The erect one, has a 13-day waiting period.
Look, they go off very easily. It's unsafe. We need to make sure that we need to do a background check.
Oh, and then there's all these protesters outside who are saying no penis control, blah blah blah. 3 to 1 click.
Yep.
Behavior.
Race.
Okay. I was thinking it's like one of these decathlon style games, but you're literally trying to take out your opponents. So you're using like bad behavior.
Murderous. Oh,
well, you're basically
right. You're cheating.
You know, you're cheating. The idea being that you don't get caught, but you also, win the race and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So I kind of like the idea that it's a big multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Where you can do anything you like to cheat, but it's like you're still you're racing against other people.
Okay. So it's almost how many people per like server? Like 16 or something? 8,
16, yeah. It's not a huge amount of people, but
no. So you've basically got like checkpoints you have to get through, and the first person through all those checkpoints wins. But there's also all of these resources around to let you just like totally fuck with people's shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like
it's almost a battle royale kind of deal where you're scavenging for stuff, but yeah, the goal isn't last one standing; it's first one across the finish line.
Yeah, it's kind of like a first-person shooter version of Mario Kart.
Right. Okay. Because you've got the different things you can pick up. All right.
So I think you start off with nothing, and the whole idea is, it's almost Mirror's Edge parkouring sort of idea.
So it's 3, 2, 1. The like starter pistol goes off. You run, grab the starter pistol, shoot one of your opponents. All right, one down. Keep going.
Now they do come back, so it's kind of like Mario Kart in the fact that
but they come back further back or something, or you can get
the idea being
on
that if you just stay there the whole time, you're just shooting all these people, but one person's running ahead.
Yeah,
then that person's probably going to win. So now you got to go chase after them. You've got bazookas and all this sort of stuff that you can start pulling out.
How silly are we going with this?
Blue shell silly.
Okay, so it's Mario running race, basically.
Effectively.
You're saying a different event. So is there a section where you have to like get a boat and row across, a lake and then do some
like a triathlon sort of thing?
Yeah.
That could be cool. That could be very cool. But
maybe you can like, if you get to the boat soon enough, you've got the resources, you can like rig 3 of them to explode, and then get in another one, and you know that you'll have set some of those people back if they choose the wrong ones.
Yeah,
and that sort of thing. Like they sink.
That is cool.
Are there just guns around? Like, is this the sort of thing where you can pick up a sniper rifle?
I think guns, yes.
Take out the
limited
leader.
ammo.
Yeah,
very limited ammo.
Yeah.
So, but it's fast paced. So it's kind of like in the case of Mario Kart, where you pick up an item, it's like a single use item sort of thing.
Yeah. So you've got like one clip of any weapon, pretty much, and you generally can't get more.
No, and until you pick up something from the next pickup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
I just think
I like that then, because I can picture finding a sniper rifle. It's like, oh, okay, I can like zoom in across half the map and take out the leader, and then sort of catch up a bit.
But in order to hit him, you had to stay still for a while, and it's a risk versus reward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you'd have some sort of like auto aiming stuff. It wouldn't have to be full on. You get 2 shots, and if you miss, you fucked. But
basically, you've got like the equivalent of the red shell, which is an auto aiming sniper rifle that literally takes out the person in front of you in one shot.
Yeah,
but of course they can do something to block it, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm picturing it more like, I don't think it's as fast paced as Mario Kart, where you just like, oh, I got something, okay, just fire it off, and if it's an automatic thing. I think that does. I feel like there should be a little bit of, particularly if we're sort of doing it first person shooter-ish. There's some aiming and there's some sort of strategy there for when you use it and different things. But yeah, I like the idea of just like throwing a grenade behind you as you run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking, what are the other sort of weapons that that Worms put into place? Massive holy hand grenade of Antioch or whatever from Holy Grail.
Right.
You throw it and it's basically a blue shell. It goes and finds the leader and it does an automatic homing.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like even in Mario Kart, that's overpowered. And I haven't played a lot of Mario Kart particularly, but I feel like it shouldn't just be a fire and forget. I think, yes, there should be tools to allow you to take out the leader, but maybe it's like a guided missile or something. And you still have to sort of aim it or at least like lock onto someone. You get, or it's like the UAV drone or whatever it is, or the missile strike or whatever in like Call of Warfare, Modern Duty.
Call of Warfare.
Where you get like a top-down view and you can sort of mostly aim it, but it's as it's moving really fast. So, yes, if you do it well enough, you'll take out like the top person, maybe even the person in second, but you could easily fuck it up and hit no one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the idea of it being deformable terrain as well, so that the like
you
racetrack is really
Red Faction.
Yeah, like so you can destroy buildings and like debris in the way, and your track is all crated and stuff as you go.
I like the idea of being able to basically take out the all the platforms to get up to this area. So when the person gets up there, they've got to spend time actually bashing through the through the terrain to actually make it through.
Yeah,
basically evening up the
land,
the race. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, slowing the race leader down by literally removing the obstacle or the way over the obstacle.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of like, if you do it well enough, you can just the first lap around burrow your way through this mountain that's like taking half like in the middle of the track, and no one notices. You can just go through straight to the finish line. Almost Minecrafty.
Yeah, I do kind of like the idea of being able to deform the terrain. I do also like the idea that there's certain areas in which you can redirect a river down onto the track. So basically, you've just made it harder. Like break a hole in the dam and all this sort of stuff. And now you've got all this water to deal with.
I definitely like the idea of these very, very changeable terrains and race courses. So
what happens if you take out like the massive suspension bridge? Is there another way round?
You swim. Everyone has
with
to
the crocodiles. And then you got to abseil down, swim with the crocodiles, then climb back up.
Oh, this is like over a cliff sort of thing. Yeah. I was picturing just over a river or something, but okay. I don't know, maybe you can craft things? Build a plane? I don't know.
Hang glider.
Yeah. I think maybe that's getting a bit too far.
Okay. Let's go again.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, clickety-doo-dah. Underwear.
Enough.
So this is someone who's just had enough of underwear. They're free going it to be gender
They're going
neutral.
out in the world freeballing for the first time.
Freeballing or free vagin, whatever you want to do. And it's just changed. It just changes their life completely. It's just like, oh my god, the freedom.
I think it's one of these games where it's, you come up across a situation where having underwear would actually be would it be able to save someone's life.
I think that's the whole game. I think the whole game is coming up with situations that could easily be solved with underwear, and now are difficult to solve, and you have to solve them. It's like I don't know. I can't actually think of situations where that's the case. Other than like helping someone out who shit their pants or something. Or like having to make a slingshot out of underwear elastic.
A la Space Quest 2.
Yes, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah.
If you want to see what we're talking about, go watch our Ghost Quest 2 playthrough from like 2 years ago.
All right, is there? Should we just click again?
Yeah, click.
Yeah, okay. Woodsman.
Stealing.
Is this a sequel to our fucking Red Riding Hood game? No, okay, let's... Stealing Woodsman. Stealing woods, man.
I kind of like the idea of you're playing like a lumberjack in the middle of a forest, and in the morning you get up and like there's a massive lot of your wood that has been taken, and it's sort of like you're in a desolate forest. There's nothing around. There's no footprints or anything, and it's now all about you trying to work out who stole your wood and what's actually going on. I'm thinking it could be a kind of fun, spooky,
they had a license to that wood. Yeah, okay. I like the idea of a horror-ish, tense sort of thing out in the woods.
Yeah.
You think you're out there alone. Maybe there are some maybe there are some mechanics around building fires and cutting wood that sort of play into it.
I think
in a way.
VR. We haven't done a VR game this episode.
VR is probably good. That would work for this.
I think you could have some basic crafting, but not to the level of like the forest or Minecraft or anything like that, but more...
I think it's mostly around... Okay, I like the idea of this as a VR survival game. Not to that level, but...
Yeah.
Again, but like I said, sort of focused a lot around wood.
Yeah.
As you are a woodsman. I think we get a really nice wood splitting simulator going.
Yep.
So you split the wood, you have to break some down into kindling. It like affects how well you build the fire. To stay warm and keep it going. And
so the first night you do all this work, you've got all this kindling, you wake up in the morning and half of it's
just
gone.
Splinters left. Yeah. Yeah.
Half of it's gone. And it's
okay.
like, what? Yeah. Hang on. No, I spent all this time like cutting this wood.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I like the idea as well as this goes of sort of like wood is your main resource.
Yep.
You never have to worry about finding food, but you do have to worry about cooking it. You know, you never have to worry about finding water, but you know, you need to stay warm in the nights.
Okay, what I kind of like is that you've actually got like a food replicator there, but it only replicates raw ingredients. So you have to actually, you know, it's sort of like a hyper advanced civilization, but it's not to the point that they
can't do like refined foods. Okay. That's interesting. Bringing it into an advanced civilization or the future, but still kind of primitive in the way of you're stuck out in the woods and that's all you've got. And
I kind of like the idea that the AI is also like the only thing that you're communicating with. So you're having little conversations with the AI and they're sort of helping you out a little bit. And
well, maybe, or I was kind of thinking you're basically like, this is a world, like which AI were you thinking of in this replicator thing? Or
just like a basic replicator in the
basically AI.
Basic AI in the replicator.
Okay.
Talking about, you know, all the awesome food that you could be
Oh, so it's a bit like, did you ever play what was that adventure game? The Cyberpunk one. Or White Jedi one.
No.
Anyway, there was in that world you could go into like basically into the internet, and there was a character who was basically a mascot for like a food company or something. So they very much spoke only about food stuff. So I kind of like that idea that there is this rudimentary AI in this food replicator thing, but it's really designed as a marketing device. Yep. Oh, I like the idea that usually you have to pay for to make this thing replicate. And so it's always trying to upsell you on things. But maybe it's like a hacked one or something.
I do like the idea that you can get refined foods, but only if you pay. Other than that, you only get the raw ingredients.
Yeah. Okay, it's like the government made them, like, forced them to allow raw foods to be free through these devices. Yep. But that was the trade-off. Was anything more than that, you required credits or something.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Maybe at some point you do manage to hack it, like come across some sort of chip that lets you hack it and get some stuff for free or whatever. Later on, when you don't want to be having the player just make raw food all the time.
Yeah, and it's also one of these sort of things of you've got this spooky sort of stuff going on. You've got this juxtaposition of the woodwork versus like technology.
Yeah,
and how obviously you can tell that this character doesn't want to be dealing with that much technology and has only got the bare minimum. Everything else is
so I'm wondering what they're out there for. Like, what is this person? What is your player out in the woods for? Is it were they trying to escape like civilization and society, or were they there for some fucking like drug deal that went wrong and now they're trapped, or was it a crash landing somewhere? Like, what brought them there?
I think this character is actually on the run from something.
Yep.
I think what's actually happened is, like, he used to live in the town. There was a murder that sort of happened. This kind little old lady died as a granddaughter was, coming to drop off some food from a basket and all this sort of stuff, and he got blamed for it, and a la your Red Riding Hood sort of thing, but just sort of brought into
modern days.
And
I like the idea of them being on the run, and as the game goes on, the player is sort of deciding one way or the other whether, like, it's ambiguous as to whether they were framed or not, or at least like mistakenly accused.
So, if I could bring forward my little twist that it turns out, what's stealing like the wood and all this sort of stuff is your character's actually a werewolf.
Okay.
And it was actually you all along, and yes, you did actually murder this kind little old lady.
Okay.
You just never knew that you were actually a werewolf.
Oh, that's interesting. Because you could bring in the whole, like, you've got the Red Riding Hood analogy or like thing, but you think you saved and scared off the wolf. Everyone else accused you of doing it because no one else saw the wolf, and then the twist is you were both.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I kind of like the idea that it was both the Little Red Riding Hood and the grandmother character who were found murdered in this place.
Yeah.
And the wolf was not to be found, although, like, you saw some grey hairs sort of thing.
Yeah, and they somehow had very axe-like claws.
But I don't know, I kind of like the idea of playing around with this whole thing of the dual personality.
Yeah, no, that's cool, and I like that idea of you just play this woodsman during obviously his human hours, but it ends each night as you sort of go to sleep, and as long as you've got enough fire going, you'll survive the night. But yeah, when you wake up every time, like, some of your stuff and some of your wood is gone. And you start thinking, and you're having these, like, this little fucking food replicator AI is basically your Wilson as you sort of have these one-sided conversations with it, and it just, like, gives you these, like, upsells for fucking chocolate chip cookies back at you.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I agree.
I like the idea of, like, going into this nearby cave, and you see all these, like, cave paintings in there that sort of talk about, like, maybe a creature in the area, and
you're setting it up for
for being something that it's not.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
You can almost go a little bit Alan Wake here in shows, sort of like the psyche sort of creating things.
Yeah, I think you would. I think with that horror sort of style as well, you'd see shadows moving and you'd hear things, but you never come right out and show them anything.
I mean, the look of the forest at night would have to be like the creepiest sort of thing, and you'd want to be in like your cabin in the woods, basically. Yeah, and I think you can like protect it over time. Like I'm thinking from a gameplay point of view, you've got a lot of upgrades, and you've got a lot of different things to help you get through each day. And as you go through each day, you sort of get a bit more story stuff that unlocks to give you a bit more background into what happened in your character, and maybe you like hear things on the radio, or I mean, it could even be that you do interact with other people. It's just you're in a town that's like far enough away. Yeah.
You know, you have things like, oh, you know, don't go into town. You can't go into town after a certain time because the newspaper came out with your face on it or something.
Yeah, and I think your Wilson character can sort of is connected to the wireless internet or whatever around, so it gets the latest news updates and can basically tell you what's going on.
It's got Wi-Fi to get new like recipes. But or again, maybe you manage to hack it in some way so that it can get the news as well.
Oh, I kind of like the idea of having like wood-based hacking. Basically.
You just shove a splinter into it in the right way.
You're doing lockpicking, but with wood.
Yeah.
Little toothpicks. Okay. Yeah. I reckon we click one more time and then we do our final click picture.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, click.
Bicycle.
Clockwork.
Ooh,
both of those have gears. I like gears. Like, is this some sort of mechanical, like steampunkish building thing?
What sort of comes to mind is like a time traveling bike.
Ooh. Okay.
So it's sort of looks like someone's taken something from what's it called? The Time Machine. You know, how it looked kind of like a bike, but it's actually this time it's actually a two-wheel version.
Here's what this is.
Yep,
it's an exercise game. You play in VR, but you have to have an exercise bike that's specially hooked up to the game in it so that it knows how fast you're going. To travel through time, you have to go fast enough, a la Back to the Future. So you have to pedal real fast. You get your heart rate way up. You go through the time stream. It's like, oh, right, now I can slow down a bit. Leisurely pace. See things that are around you. Ah, cool. Oh, wait, there's a fucking dinosaur coming. Fast again. You got to get away from that bastard. And so it's all about giving you a good workout while exploring these different time spaces, and perhaps there's like, I don't know, shooting gameplay in there as well.
I'm thinking kind of like the Time Machine. You know how it stayed in one place and then time moved around it?
Yeah.
Same thing with this bike. Like, time moves around the bike. So
that's fine. Though I think you're still at least moving forward as fast as a bike moves forward. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of moving forward, but you're moving forward through time a lot faster. So you're still in danger of...
Oh, wait, are you saying the faster you go, the faster you move through time?
The faster you go, the faster you're going through time. But also, you know, if you're about to be hit by something and you make time go fast, there's a chance that it's going to still take you out. Right. Because you're still physically
So what
there.
if you slam on the brakes? Does time stop?
It actually stops and is now at a point where you can never get off this bike.
Well, look, we don't have to go too deep on the actual sort of way that the time stream works. I was just picturing it as... I could see it being a fun thing, a fun way to get your exercise, right? And you can have a different story every day. and different time periods. And it's sort of like that Zombie Run podcast. No, the app on your phone.
Yep.
Where, you run a certain distance and you get new bits of the story. It's the same thing with the bike, but the actual speeds that you go at and like the trails that you ride are built into the bike. It hooks up to it. So if you go up a hill in VR, then like it ups the resistance and stuff. That would sell, man.
You would hope, because we put all our collateral into building these bikes.
Into building the bikes. Don't fucking exercise. Exercise bikes should just have USB ports now, so they can be controlled externally.
No, probably.
And you get so many cool apps for your bike. Then,
this is just one of them. This other one's a fairy tale game.
Yeah, well, that's it. But in all of them, you can still put on your Oculus Touch or whatever and just shoot things from your bike.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay,
drive by.
So I think that'll do for Click Pitch for today. I've got my photo
ready to go to. Give it to me,
3, 2, 1, enter.
Okay.
Okay. We
have a very James Bond looking fella pointing his gun very menacingly. Does he have sunnies on his head?
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is that he's asking the person on the other side of the screen, tell me where my sunnies are. I didn't
say he's pointing it very menacingly at a laptop screen.
Yeah.
This is spy work in the time of COVID-19.
Yep. Yes. It's all digital.
It's all via Zoom. He's got like a video background of this huge warehouse with all sorts of cool gadgets being made behind him, when actually he's in his basement interrogating someone who has obliged to come on this Zoom chat with him.
Okay, I really like the idea of this guy not being able to find his sunnies.
Okay.
And he's basically going through, warehouses and all this sort of stuff, and the way that he interacts with computers is he just literally points a gun at it and it starts downloading the stuff for him.
Sorry, I just love the idea of a gameplay mechanic where to make a computer do anything, you just threaten it with a gun.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's really funny. Are these sentient computers, or it's just like it's sort of a ridiculous thing?
An AI. It's an AI who can actually feel,
or is it just one of these ridiculous things like a kind of cartoon logic where you can intimidate inanimate objects into doing what you want?
I just like the idea of this AI that actually feels pain, and you just point a gun at a computer and the AI starts doing things for
you. Right. Yeah, that could work too. So wait, any of the devices that's connected to get hurt and it feels pain?
Yeah, I think if it's networked to a device, unfortunately the person who created this AI gave it feelings.
Yeah.
And the type of feelings it was actual like pain receptors.
Actual human pain. Shit. Is it Jeeves after he uploaded himself? Just to have a bit of a callback. Okay. And but you're still trying to find your sunnies? I do like that idea. Yeah. It's kind of a cross between like John Wick and Dude, Where's My Car? In a way.
He's literally... It's one of the scenes where, like, he's going through everywhere. You haven't actually seen your character throughout the whole time. He goes, I was in this warehouse yesterday. It's the last time I saw my special sunglasses that Q gave me or whatever it was.
Right.
He's told me I need to go find them. And like,
okay,
so he's going through the whole thing,
destroying
everyone.
So it's not just some dude who's missing his sunnies. It's like, no, this is this one of a kind prototype that that our queue made for us, and I need to find it or they're gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah, and then when you get to the end of the mission and you find this AI that has feelings and all this sort of stuff, and it says they're on your fucking head. He goes,
no, I think as a player you kill the AI, and then as the light goes out of its screen, you see in the reflection of the screen the sunglasses on your head. It's like the black,
and that's where the
Black
game
Mirror
starts.
situation.
And
that's the opening. That's the cold opening.
That's the opening. Yeah,
And then
that's the
title
cold open of the
sequence
game.
comes
And
up.
then,
Okay.
and I think it's a very James Bond.
Yeah.
Sort of,
Sunglasses. Well. They're the
they
hero.
were
The sunglasses
on
are the
your
hero.
fucking head.
Oh, okay, but what turns out happened is you didn't kill the AI. They transferred into your high-tech sunglasses, and now it's a buddy cop, buddy spy, like shoot-'em-up game.
Okay, yeah, I love that. And it's sort of like, at first, you can tell that it's an evil AI. It's basically trying to say that it's got something hostage and all this sort of stuff, and trying to make you do things.
Yeah.
But as you go through, you realize that no, it was just its way of like, it got programmed to do this,
But it's
you
actually
get upgrades
good.
later on, and it's actually, the AI is only as bad as the programming.
Yeah. And then at the end, the AI gets promoted above you, and now you're working for it. No, I do love the idea of like kind of an Uncharted style, adventure, where you're playing a spy.
It's definitely got to be like a first person shooter. Otherwise, you can literally just turn the model around like it's on its head.
That's true. Maybe it's only first person in that start. No, it can be first person the whole way through. But I mean, my point was that you've got this voice in your ear the whole time. Like, you've got the dialogue going back and forth as you play through of the AI in your sunglasses and your character. And of course, the sunglasses have all kind of cool high tech like vision modes and sensors and stuff.
Oh yeah, like Batman detective mode and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So you can like highlight and tag enemies and.
Yeah,
it's a very kind of... It's basically fast buy.
I reckon that'll do us for today.
I think that'll do us for today. So if you would like to find us online, listen to all of our other episodes, leave us reviews, like our new friend Zach did last week. That was very nice to see. Go to podchaser.com/bitstorm. Leave us reviews there. Tell us what you thought. We'll reply. We'll say thank you. It's very awesome. We're also part of the 8-Bit Collective. This is a group of podcasts about video games and pop culture and movies and all sorts of different things. Go to 8bit.net. Check them out. Subscribe to their Patreon. Give them some bucks. It's great. Do it.
For another awesome group of podcasters, check out the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. It's a collaborative network of Australasian and New Zealand podcasters who just want to help each other out. So check out the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network on Facebook or at AGP Network on Twitter. And finally, we'd like to thank Kuridas for the use of the song Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure. Nelly, switch those around again.
That's right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott. Where are my fucking sunglasses?